We have an update on an ex-WWE star's rumoured return. Logan Paul is making a SmackDown comeback soon, ? And former NXT stars make their shock indie return. Find out who that was in a little bit. Adam Pacitti, do you like Alberto Del Rio?
He's great. What a good guy. No, tosser. Go on.
He is a tosser, yeah. Are you gagging for his return to the WWE?
Oh, no.
Well, don't hold your breath, because per Dave Meltzer in that Wrestling Observer newsletter that comes out each and every Friday, as we all know, Del Rio claimed following a match on October the 5th that he was on his way back to the WWE last year, all the way until Vince McMahon lost his power. But there is more to this story.
There is. A WWE source close to Sean Ross Sapp asked about this Alberto Del Rio WWE return. Their response was pretty clear in this text message. Excuse me. I wouldn't be upset if you posted this verbatim, even a direct screenshot. No flipping chance. It's not happening. Alberto, I think he's trying to manifest something, trying to get people behind him in the same way that Tom manifested Grado, but successfully. So, no, I don't think it's going to happen. He's more trouble than he's worth.
He is more trouble than he's worth. In the personal life, all that, we've all read the stories down the years, haven't we? But it does feel like a story that crops up around about the same time each and every year. Come back next October for the latest update in Del Rio never returning to WWE. Someone who is making a comeback to the WWE is someone who apparently did some boxing or something on Saturday night. There was some American wrestling, amateur wrestling grappling going on as well. All the kids were throwing their hee-haws in the air and all that sort of stuff. You know, the kids. And
I know.
All the cool YouTube boxing and that, you know what I mean? Yeah, Logan Paul and that fella who had a go at his girlfriend for a long time on Twitter and then didn't back it up inside the ring. They did some boxing on Saturday night, and now Logan Paul, after his post-match promo, I guess we'll call it, he's going to be wrestling someone quite famous in the wrestling now, isn't it?
Looks to be that way. Calling out US champion Rey Mysterio. Mysterio has since responded to this on Twitter, saying, "Did Logan Paul just call me out? I'm not hard to find, homie. Every Friday night on SmackDown." Logan Paul has since replied to this with a quote retweet. "See you soon."
Yes, this points to a WWE return for Logan Paul, and possibly, Tom's written down here, there's a brand switch. I didn't realise he had a brand in the first place.
Was he assigned to Raw in the draft? I thought he was like a free agent. He could just go between them.
I can picture him up against, like, cutting promos with LA Knight on Raw. So maybe he was a Raw superstar. Maybe I'm the one who's an arse.
No idea. It looks like he might be coming back to SmackDown. You know what? He's going to win this belt.
I think he should as well.
Yeah, I think it's good exposure. I think he's proven himself as a really, really good heel and a dab hand in the ring. I enjoy his work. It'd be nice if he came back and if he has a run with a mid-card title, if he's on TV consistently doing that. It'd be nice if he was around, but time will tell on that, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like Ray's got a little bit, I don't want to say stale with the US title, but I'm going to say it. He's been a little bit stale with the US title. They were doing the sort of the slow burn for the Santos Escobar heel turn, which they still haven't done, but it still feels like it's bubbling under the surface. So if they're not going to do that, I think Logan Paul coming in, taking the title, making all of us mad, it's good.
Yeah, I think it could lead to some really good stories.
Who's he going to fight, though? After he's won the title. He's definitely won the title, by the way.
I think Escobar should then take it off of Logan Paul a few months down the line, leading to more Rey Escobar stuff, because that match was unbelievable that they had. And I compared it to, remember the series of matches that Rey had with Andrade?
On Raw.
Back in the day? Yeah.
Yeah, where they just open Raw with 20-minute barn burners.
Just amazing matches. And I don't think they ever got a proper pay-per-view blow-off on that.
No, I don't think so.
So I'd like to see it go, like, finish with the story that has already been started. Maybe with the heel turn. I guess so. But that's where I'd like to see it end up.
There you go. That's a very abrupt ending.
Sorry.
There we go.
Right.
Arguably, the headline from Fastlane last weekend was the big return of Carito, Caribbean Cool. Up in arms was the WWE Universe, who heard the theme song and said, no, that's not how it goes. It wasn't just a case of Carlito actually appearing late and them going, oh, there's the first thing we've seen. We'll play that song just because that's all we've got. It's actually been planned, Adam.
Yeah, it has. He talked to the Ringer Wrestling Show about this, saying, they ran it by me to change the theme song. They wanted to change it. I wasn't crazy about changing it. I, like everyone else, wanted to keep it. I liked it the way it was. But, you know, they said we want to change it, and I was like, all right, let's see what we can do. They asked for my input here and there. I'd say we can use a little more bass, more drums. He's an expert. Things like that. It grew on me a little bit. People don't like change. I'm not crazy about change, but I think it's something that needs to be done, and, you know, just do something to put a fresh coat of paint on everything. I actually haven't looked at this. I assume it was a Jim Johnson thing, given the time that he was there. Double J probably came up with it, and they've tried to phase all of that stuff out where possible, haven't they?
Yeah, there was the stuff with the CFO dollar sign sort of that having to change a couple of years ago, wasn't there? But some people got to keep their CFO dollar sign theme, like Nakamura, for example, and people like that. So I don't know what the crack is with that. It seems like a change for change's sake, going off not only just watching the show, but also now looking at the quotes from Carito there. It's a shame. It was an iconic theme.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. And it's a bit of a weird one because essentially he's coming back here for a nostalgia run. And so you want to sort of base that nostalgia in part around the theme song that everybody knows. I don't understand why they had to change the sting. The opening lines, they reworded that. Why couldn't they have kept that little bit, if nothing else, and then just had the new song if they want to change it up?
Yeah. You say he's coming back from nostalgia run. He pinned Montez Ford.
Yeah,
he's been given that paint of coat.
But it is a nostalgia run, isn't it?
I guess it is, yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, let's go all the way back to 2012, a year in professional wrestling. I'll read the little blurb here. From Triple H and Undertaker's end of an era match at WrestleMania 28 to the crowning of the first ever NXT champion in Seth Rollins, we take an in-depth look at the world of professional wrestling in the year of 2012. It's on the channel right now.
Have a look if you want. That's some more keywords. That's just keyword stuff in there.
It's good videos, though. I do enjoy
them.
them.
Amazingly great.
We have the backstage reaction to Nick Aldis' WWE main roster debut on Friday's SmackDown. He was wheeled out by Triple H. He was in the ring with Dirty Dominic Mysterio. He says, "I'm a massive fan of you, Dad." Bazinga, Dominic. But we have more sort of like what the backstage stuff is around the thing, how it's going to look going forwards. What's Fightful Select been saying?
Well, they seem to be happy as Larry. Aldis was not listed on the SmackDown producer report. They'll have a clearer picture if he'll continue in that role in the coming weeks. Obviously, he's been doing stuff backstage with the talent up until now. However, it was revealed that he's the new SmackDown GM. Adam Pearce has produced and worked as an on-screen talent for years, so that option is potentially there anyway. Those backstage in WWE have told us that Aldis has been easy to work with, willing to make the most of the WWE opportunity, and others have said that he was eager to make that work in whatever role he was given, so he seems happy with it. I think he's going to be great.
It's the perfect role for him because he has got that authoritative tone to his voice.
Yeah, he does. And somebody who, if the situation calls for it, can have a match still. That's spot on, isn't it?
Yeah, he was stood in between The Rock, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, getting mixed up. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at the end of SmackDown, and he's just as big as those two boys. Yeah, so massive. He could still rustle them feathers in the ring, so he could.
He's such an underrated talker. He comes across in everything that I've ever seen him in as just a proper pro.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the authority role is perfect for him. Where do you think this leaves Adam Pearce? Is he going to crack on with Raw?
He's been promoted, Adam.
Right.
Triple H said you've been promoted to the general manager of Monday Night Raw. So he's had half his job taken away, but he's been promoted.
Right, okay, as long as that's continuing.
So I guess with the TV deal of Fox coming up with SmackDown and them going back to USA, I guess that SmackDown is now categorically the B show and Raw is back to being the A show. It all makes sense. But we were saying when Nick Aldis was going to go back to the WWE for his backstage producer role initially a few weeks ago, that I felt there was a role for like a William Regal, Dave Taylor-esque mid-card curmudgeon in Nick Aldis in the ring.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it could lead to somewhere like that. If the right storyline presents itself and people get invested, I don't see why he couldn't then just make it at least one program in the ring.
Yeah,
be nice to see.
I think he will do for sure. He's not as old as people think he is.
36, I think, if memory serves him.
I picture him as like a mid to late 40s
Gladiators
guy.
was like 08.
Yeah, I know. It's just the way he carries himself. But actually, he's a young gun.
He is a young gun. Someone who isn't a young gun, in their name at least, is the Grizzled Young Veterans, who, of course, were in the NXT as the Dyad, as Matthew likes to say on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, or the Dyad, as the rest of us like to say. But they've popped up for their indie return. Was a shoot surprise, wasn't it, Adam? Where the hell did it happen?
Okay, so just to catch you up, over the weekend, Grizzled Young Vets shared a video online setting the stage for that indie return. They didn't hold back at all, saying you got soulless wrestlers, heartless gimmicks, then you've got the death of creativity. We took a long look around and we said to ourselves, if this is the big life, then we're not going to live it. We're sick of taking the safe option. We're sick of reading the same old boring scripts that go absolutely nowhere. We're sick of dealing with knobheads that have wormed their way into the business. They then ended up popping up a Deadlock Pro Live 3, answering an open challenge, a non-title challenge from the DPW Tag Team Champions, the Horsemen, as well.
Yes, they went on to defeat him as well and earn a future title match in DPW. Put your teeth in, Ross. But yeah, what they're saying there, especially with Zach Gibson, I know that James Drake wasn't really known for his promos before heading to NXT. It was always about Zach Gibson. We saw it firsthand, didn't we? Back at the old place. A fantastic promo. It was weird to see them not utilise that at all as part of NXT, especially in the Schism and the tag team as the Dyad. So seeing them, because you could just tell they were miserable. You hear about wrestlers all the time saying, "Oh, we were handcuffed and held back by creative." In the case of Zach Gibson especially, that was definitely the case.
They had something that was working, and then they just threw a load of silly bollocks at him. I'd be pissed off too. Yeah. Fair play to them. And everybody's talking about them right now, and apparently there's a lot of interest. And I don't know if that's just indie promotions. Obviously, everybody wants to book them because everyone knows how good they are. But I don't know if that's like major US promotions, if it's Japan or what. But I think we'll see them pop up on a grander stage. No disrespect, obviously, to Deadlock Pro Live, but a grander stage in the
Let Zach Gibson talk, that's all we're saying. So that was it for news video 1 today. Check back later for news video 2. I've been Ross, joined by Adam, and we'll see you in a bit.